Hello everybody, here we are on a floor project. This is kind of our main gig here. I just figured I'd film this one because this is like one of the ugliest floors we've ever done. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like. We already hit this room here. We're starting off with literally 16 grit. As you can see, it's coming pretty clean for as ugly as it was. So this is down a little hallway here, and this one here had mastic and 3 layers of some kind of white goo. And see, we have our work cut out for us here around all these edges. Literally 16 grit is what we're starting out with. Now this room here hasn't been hit yet. You can see the lighting is pretty poor, but you can see how dark this floor is and how absolutely ugly this thing is when we started. And there's a little comparison of what we started with and what we're going to try and to achieve. So we're working with this Clark Apollo 8 right here. This is a sander that I bought probably about 25 years ago. I bought this sander, and it's been an awesome sander. We don't use it very much for nice floors. We only use it on these really ugly ones and old fur. But that's the machine we're using here. It's an old battle wagon. So I'm going to go ahead and put some new paper on that thing and start roughing this floor off, and I'll keep the camera on so you can watch what's going on. A view outside the window there. This project's over here in Columbia City. So that's about what you get with a 16 grit. Pulling off all that old glue. You can still see there's a bunch of stains deep down into the wood. But this is pulling off all the glue and all the mastic and whatever else is on there. Now, over here we got Charles pulling up some of this black shit with an edger. You can see where it's already looking a lot better. Let's go, Charles. Let's get that thing going.
Every day at the same time, 6 o'clock alarm, I'm tired of it all. The same old thing, please get me out of here. I don't want to do all those stupid things. This bores me to death, I'll think I'll smoke some meth. Psych, I'm just kidding, that stuff makes life a mess. Please can't go by fast, but I don't know what for. It's just the same old thing, just like the day before. It's the same shit over and over again and again and again. Do it once, do it twice, do it 3 times, nothing ever changes.
There. All the way around the room. That took about 30 or 40 minutes. Now this room's ready to be filled. All right, the next step, we're gonna take this latex wood filler and we're gonna full trowel fill the whole floor, and that's gonna fill all the little nail holes, gaps, cracks, nooks and crannies, and butt joints.
Waking up every day at the same time. 6 o'clock alarm, I'm tired of it all. The same old thing, please get me out of here. I don't wanna do all those stupid things. This bores me to death, I'll think I'll smoke some meth. I'm just kidding, that stuff makes life a mess. Please take a bite back, but I don't know what for. It's just the same old thing, just like that.
You really want to do this the day before. We're about done for the day. So we'll get this on here, we'll get out of here, and then tomorrow this will be really nice and dry so we can start in on all of our final cuts of sanding tomorrow. You see, we still have a little bit of edging to do here, and this room still needs to be edged out for the most part, but we just want to get that filler down before we get out of here. Good morning, everybody. Here we are back on the old job site. So I'm gonna have to apologize for my footage from yesterday. I didn't really get it very good, so the video in the beginning is not gonna show a real good before and after video of this project. I'm doing this on my Samsung phone, and to tell you the truth, I'm not really a photographer. So this room here still has a little bit around the edges of what we started with. Let me turn this phone around here. Let me get a close-up of that. So this is what was on this floor, the whole floor. And you can see it's a troweled on glue. It's got some mastic in some areas, and it actually had some thin set that we scraped off. Over here you can see it's just like paint, sheetrock, and glue. It had a mastic, some kind of glue that they did some stick down tiles, and there was some stick down tiles, and then there was tiles over the top of that. So yeah, this room here still has some of that. So we're gonna finish up the edging, the rough edging in this room, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish up out here. So you can see in these areas where we did all the rough sanding yesterday and we filled it. So now it's nice and dry. And we're gonna start in on all the final edging. So the process is to, you go around all the edges with 100 grit. Then we're gonna 100 grit the field. And then we'll buff it with 120, scrape the corners, clean it, and put a coat on it. Hopefully later on today is the plan for that. We'll see how things go, but we have this room ready. I got a little work to do in that closet there still. It's got a hatch in the middle, that's just plywood. We're not doing anything with that. Yeah, and then this room's ready also. So I'm gonna set up an edger and start doing the final edging out here, and Charles is gonna start doing the rough edging, finish the rough edging, and fill this room real quick while we get the rest of these all ready. That putty will be drying. All right. I wear my nose bag so I don't get the virus while I'm sanding. So you can see, you know, the putty serves a couple of different purposes. It fills all the gaps and cracks, and it also gives you a sanding guide coat. So when you're sanding with your 100 grit, you know you've gotten all of your 16 or 36 grit scratches out. Usually it's only 60, but on this one, we did some heavy sanding as you saw before. So yeah, so I'm going to go around and show you the little final on the edging here. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's all edged out. And now I'm ready to hit the big sander with the 100 and pull all the putty off with that. And that also works as a guide coat. So I didn't finish this completely, hoping that I can get in there and show you some of the scratch marks where I didn't sand all the way through with this 100. There it is. Now you can see it. See those scratch marks? So that's what the putty gives you, a guide coat. So you know as soon as all those scratches are gone, those swirly marks from your rougher grits, you know you're flat and you're down to 100 grit and you're ready for a buff. Well, that's where we're at now. I'm going to go ahead and continue this room. I don't see any reason to continue filming the whole thing. Let's go see how young Charles is doing over here. Looks like he got the closet. So the closet now is edged out. And he's working his way around this room here. So yeah, this is all that dirty, grimy glue. Just getting all over everything and sticking to our wheels. And he's gonna finish up that little corner back there. Then we'll be filling this room. Okay, I'll get back to you when we get a little further along. Over and out for now. Just a little view outside the neighborhood. This is kind of the Rainier Valley, Columbia City neighborhood here in Seattle. It's actually a really popular neighborhood. This is the house we're working on right here. So it's a little old house. It's original, probably 30s, 40s. I don't know exactly the year of this one. You can see they did a kind of a funky addition right there. Used to be probably just a driveway. But a lot of these houses have been fixed up really nice. And there's still some run-down ones too. And it is Seattle. And we have roosters crowing right over there. Because Seattle is a mixed bag of nuts. And that's why people love it. Check it out. Right there in Seattle, right in the middle of town, we got roosters crowing. Kind of reminds me of being in the Philippines. Oh, we got ducks. We got roosters. And that's an original little house too. They're real cute little 2-bedroom houses. Then these here have been fixed up really nice. Like that house there is an extremely nice home. And right down the street over there, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a brand new modern style home with a big deck up on the roof. Yeah. Nice little neighborhood. Beautiful morning out here. Tuesday morning, the 23rd. So here we go. Right out there is Martin Luther King Boulevard. Up over on the hill over there is Beacon Hill, the backside of Beacon Hill. Yeah, so that's the neighborhood. Alright, so we're getting ready to start 100 gritting this with the big sander. You see I have my 100 grit belt. I don't know if you can read that, but 100 grit. I'm going to take off this 36 that I was using yesterday. Going straight from 36 to 100, not really recommended, but this floor is an exception. So we're going to burn through quite a few of these hundreds to get all these 36 grit scratches out. And I know that, but I don't want to go over it twice with 60 and then 100. So these are unidirectional belts. They go on either way. There's no arrows pointing which way they need to go. So another thing is when we go to the next grits, these sanders here, they have an adjustment. So this adjustment here is when it's all the way down, that's putting the most amount of pressure on the drum in the front. That's middle, and this is the least amount of pressure. I'm going to go with the mid-range on this. We don't want to dig in with this 100 grit. We just want to clean off all this putty and take off all the scratches and make the floor nice and flat. All right. Boogie on, reggae woman. I'll tell you right now, I need to clean the wheels off on this sander. There's so much glue on this floor that the glue is stuck to everything, especially the wheels. So I'm going to lay this thing on its side, like that. I don't know how well you can see that, but this glue is stuck to everything. I'll bring this camera over there and let you see that. See that glue on those wheels? I'm going to clean all that glue off. It's making my machine go bump, 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 which is going to transfer right into the floor. This is why when you do a floor like this, you need an old kind of a junky sander. You do not want to use your nice Hummel on this floor. Okay, the wheels are clean. You can see all the stuff that came off of those wheels. So I scraped them, and then I used a little acetone here and a rag, and I wiped all the residue off of these wheels so they're nice and clean. Any little thing that's stuck to your wheels is going to transfer to your sanding. So no matter what sander you're using, you should clean your wheels periodically, because like if a little piece of tape or if it gets a little bit of putty on there, every time you roll it, it goes bump, 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 and that little bump, bump, bump is going to show through in the floor when you do your final sanding. So keep your wheels in good repair, and just imagine what it's like using one of these rental units from Home Depot. For one thing, they're not 220 like this. This thing runs on 220. It's a very heavy-duty machine. Those are 110 sanders. They're very weak. You would never even get this floor to sand up with one of them little wimpy things from Home Depot. Anyway, just a little precaution on your big sander. Okay, that took about a half hour. Clean those wheels, clean the floor, and get all the glue off. But oh, that's so much nicer. Now it's rolling smooth. It's an old battle wagon of a sander, but you can still achieve 100% professional results if you take care of your equipment. As a matter of fact, this old Apollo 8 is way better than the brand new floor crafters you can buy as far as the stoutness of it, the way the upper roller works. I bought a new floor crafter, I can take it back, it's a pile of crap. This old battle wagon here, it'll do the job.
Waking up every day at the same time. 6 o'clock alarm, I'm tired of it all. The same old thing, please get me out of here. I don't wanna do all those stupid things. This bores me to death, I'll think I'll smoke some meth. Psych, I'm just kidding, that stuff makes life a mess. Please can't go by fast, but I don't know what for. It's just the same old thing, just like the day before. It's the same shit over and over.
So there you have it. That's what it looks like with the 100 grit. So, you know, you could slap a finish on that right there, and it's better than most of the floors out there. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. I'm gonna turn the camera off now, we're done. And then get to scraping corners and buffing here in a little bit. I'm gonna scrape out a couple of corners here. So you can see the edge here brings in, you have a 6-inch radius in the corner. That still has glue and everything on it. So basically this is what you need. Sandpaper, file, and a paint scraper. I pretty much sharpen these before I do every corner almost. So basically drag that across there, give yourself a nice edge. We're going to scrape all that glue and get that radius off of there. Just like that. Do a little hand sanding. And that's it. And I'm going to work my way around the room. I'll come over here and do the next one. I think you get the idea. We just go around the whole room. We do that. And then the next step will be the buffer.
And again. Do it once, do it twice, do it 3 times. Nothing ever changes.
final sanding process is the buffer. You know, you can buff this with a 120 grit screen, or we have been using this multi-head sanding pad that sits on a buffer. These 5-inch discs all spin independently and the whole thing spins at the same time. And it really makes the floor really flat. So, change the paper every room or so, or depending on the size of the room. I should be able to get this room with one set of paper. So it's a little bit more expensive than using a buffer disc, but it does a little better job. Sanding skirt, all goes around the bottom. I made this, you can buy them, or you can make one, whatever works, but it just makes it so when you hook your vacuum to it, it creates a better suction, you get a better vacuum. And I've spent a lot of money on buffers in the past. I spent as much as $2,500 on a buffer, but this one here that I bought over 30 years ago for 60 bucks, it's been my favorite all along. Over all those years, I'm still using that old Mint Man. So I'll get this set up and run the buffer for me. Good morning, everybody. Here we are. It's Wednesday morning, the 24th. So we have this floor all sanded, prepped. All we have to do is vacuum it and put a coat on it. We could have put a coat yesterday, but we always like to do it fresh first thing in the morning. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and give you a look around. So you can see this floor is all sanded and we're ready to clean it up and put a coat on it. I wanted to talk a little bit about this project too. Here we have a plywood hatch that goes in that closet there. This room here is all sanded and prepped, ready to go. The lighting is not quite good in this house. This here room has about the best lighting. So you can see these floors are pretty darn clean compared to what we started with. So about this project, you know, normally a project should be further along before you start doing the floors. I'm just going to turn the camera a little bit and look at what's going on in this house. So we have that little spot there, totally unfinished. The staircase needs work. There actually even needs to be work on the end of this hardwood floor. This room is in complete disarray. It needs all kinds of work. The electrical is not done. The framing is not done. They have closed up vents that need to be sanded and filled. The molding needs to be done. No molding. You see there they patched another one of those vents in the wall because they deleted the furnace in this house and put in mini splits everywhere. This whole wall here, it looks to me like they are going to take that wall, they're gonna cut that wall out of there and header that off and open that up into the little dining room area. So that's all completely unfinished. So really, a house like this, all this work should be done before you do the floors. However, this particular project, this is a first-time home buyer, young couple. It's the end of the month and they need to move in by the end of the month. So they're hurrying it along a little bit and they're gonna get the floors done, cover them all up, and then work on their house as they move in. So that's why it's being done like this. But normally, there would be a lot more work done on a house before you do the floors. And that's what I told them, but they need to get moved in, so that's the reason why this house is so unfinished. So anyway, there's young Charles over there on his damn phone again. Anyway, we're gonna clean this up and start putting a coat down. I'm gonna use that vacuum right there, vacuum up all the little dust on the floor, and I'm gonna go mix up some finish and I'll cut back in with a little bit of that footage. Charles got the vacuum going there. We'll get this thing all vacuumed up. And I've got my wand here set up, my applicator. There's my finish. We're going to be using the Glitza Swedish, which is an industrial Swedish finish for the sealer coat. We want to achieve that nice red color. This is what we call a T-bar. Mr. T-bar, I'm going to use for applicating an applicator. Spread this stuff around. Be sure to always wear an OSHA WSHA approved respirator when using toxic chemicals. Room of the whole house, so you can see these floors are going to look pretty good, all things considered. That's the first coat. We have 2 more coats to go after this. I got to move some stuff around. I'm going to start this room. I'm going to take another shot. I'll close it. Just great, Charles. There it is. The sealer coat is done. We have a little bit of dark stuff going on right along there, but not enough to dark stain the floor. Well, I'm going to get out of here, close the door, and we got some other stuff to go do today. So that was 41 minutes, 42 minutes for 2 guys to coat about 600 square feet. And we're out of here. Over and out for now. Okay, time for the intercoat abrasion. It's the next morning. It's the 25th of March. I got the buffer all set up here. I'm gonna turn the vacuum on. And we're gonna get the buff in here. I'm gonna try this one-handed. Let's see how I do. There we go. We're just gonna run the buffer over the whole thing pretty quick with like a 320 grit. And we're going to apply 2 coats of floor finish to this floor today. So this is fairly uneventful. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off right now. I just wanted to film this last process. Hand sanding all the edges first. And then we buff it out with the buffer with like 320 grit. Okay, the floors are all prepped, ready to go. It's always good to, if you notice, we wear our socks when we're doing all of our prep work. But we, usually I wear a little pair of slippers when I do the final coats. It keeps your feet out of the finish in case you touch it, and we only wear those for doing our finish. Charles over here likes his Crocs, which are just fine too. I may switch to a pair of Crocs. So we're getting ready here to lay down this final coat. Okay, the final product. It's all done. So there is what this floor looks like in the end. Coming in the entryway door. We'll just do a little walk through here. Oh, here's the kitchen, a fireplace, hearth. Over there. Through here. Look out the front door. Come along, there's that one little dark spot right there. We knew that was there. Comes through here. You look into the closet. We put a coat on top of that hatch too, just to give it a coat. There's the hatch. We come through here. This is the bedroom. There's that old floor. Come through. And into this room right here. Over in this corner, that color there, that corner there has a lot of character going on. Not sure what happened there, but you know, that's as clean as we could get it. So there you go. All right. Okay, this concludes this little project over here in the Columbia City District of Seattle. Remember, it's not the destination, it's always the journey. We'll catch you in the next one. All right.